And today is International Women's Day. So here on CNN Philippines, we are celebrating achievements and success of women. Now, one outstanding Filipina works on weaving the country's indigenous culture with chic fashion. And we have in the studio the co-founder and president of Línea Étnica, Louie Llobregat. Good morning, Louie, and welcome to CNN.
Good morning, Christine, and happy International Women's Day.
Yes, you know, it's such an honor to have you here. Okay, so tell me about your journey of Línea Étnica. And we know that it's known for its use of colorful yakan weaves. And in fact, you started with yakan and that house of weaves from Zamboanga Peninsula, which is where you are originally from.
Yes, yes.
So tell us about your journey, which started like way back when, in 2016?
Yes, our journey started in 2016. So the brand is 3 years old. It's a heritage brand, and I co-founded it with Vice Mayor of Quezon City, Joy Belmonte. So it started when we were shopping for twin wooden mannequins, and we ended up talking about Filipiniana. And then it became providential that, you know, I was thinking, my Lola was a culture advocate. She would wear her kimono every day. That was her outfit. And everybody knew that Maria Clara Lorenzo Llobregat, that was her look, right?
Okay.
So because of that, I kind of like thought, you know, there's a yakan weaving village in Zamboanga City, and that is my hometown. And there was already a relationship that my grandmother had started. So I figured, why not try to work with them? And when I did, you know, they were open arms, they welcomed me, they were very trusting, and they knew that we were there to help them, you know, help them with progress. And so that's how our journey started.
And speaking of progress, how is the current state of, you know, of the weaving industry in these areas? Has it improved? Because not only you, but there are also a lot of other people that want to get involved and want to help these communities. Has it improved at all?
I believe it has, and you're right. There are so many more brands and so many more individuals who are getting into indigenous weaves. It's a good thing. We just hope that it's not just a trend, that it's something that's more sustainable. Like, for example, in Zamboanga City with the Yakan Weaving Village, since we started, every time I visit, you know, there are like signs of progress. And we use our brand to also bring attention to the village. So just last month, through the funding of Senator Lauren Legarda, who's also a culture advocate,
yes.
right? She also wears Línea Étnica. Thank you very much, Senator Lauren. We were able to improve the facilities. Now there's like a beautiful archway, there's a cemented path. So there's like progress that's being brought into the Yakan.
And do you find that even the younger generation are also getting more into weaving? That's just not going to die out.
Yes, that's perfect that you mentioned that, because now there are more weavers in the village, even the young kids, and they're encouraged to do it. You know, when I ask the parents, how do you, because at age 6 they start learning how to weave, and when I go, you really see them weaving their little coasters, because that's like a smaller piece, so that's what they're doing. And when I ask them if they're enjoying, they say yes. And some of the lolas use it as an incentive for them to get like baon for school, right? So it's a good practice, really.
And tell us more also about your core values in terms of Línea Étnica. What is it about you that forced you to go down this road and allows you to keep continuing along this path?
I believe, number one, it's really my linkage to heritage, given that I was very close to my grandmother and she was from Zamboanga City. The relationship that she had with them was also something that I knew would keep her close to me. I mean, she's been in heaven for more than 14 years now. But, you know, working with the community, every time I go, they always speak so highly of her, and they always tell me, oh, this was a project of your Lola. And so that kind of like reminds me so much of my grandmother. And I think because there's that strong linkage, and we know deep inside that we're really there to be able to help the community move forward.
And speaking of helping the community, how is it actually done?
Yes, we do it through, well, we'd like to think that we do it through several ways. First is, of course, there's dignity of work, because we purchase the weaves that they weave. And we also help them sometimes with color combinations and certain designs, because the patterns are very traditional. They're passed down from memory.
And this is identifying more so with that tribe, because I am assuming that a lot of tribes have their own set design of weaves.
Correct, right? Correct. The Yakan weaves are known for their geometrical shapes, And you know, before the colors were brighter and bolder, but I guess they're also shifting a little because now people like two-tone colors, and so they're doing that as well. And when they were weaving way back, they would use natural materials, but because also it's getting more expensive, they do use polycotton, but I already see that some of them are shifting to pure cotton, so that's a good thing.
Okay, and also helping the community, so you give them dignity, you know, you give them ideas. And
yes, and also fellowship, Christine. I think that's important because we don't just go and buy the weaves and say, bye, see you later. We go, we spend time with the children. We invite them to fashion shows. 2 years ago, there was a fashion show in Zamboanga called Tejido. Tejido means woven, and they featured indigenous weaves. So they were my special guests. We invited them. They were seated right behind the front row, and every time one of my designs would come out, I'd look back and I'd be like, okay, but you'd see their faces that my hairs are standing.
And I'm sure also for them, once they see their actual design out there, it's like, ginawa ko yun.
Yes.
Ako talaga, because you can take pride because you actually do it themselves. Right?
That is true. It really gives them pride because every time I go, I also wear the creation.
And now that they see you here on New Day on CNN Philippines, like, ay, ginawa ko rin yan. So do invite. So where can we avail of the wonderful items and pieces that you have? And I know it's not only dresses, but you also have shoes or bags.
We have shoes, we have like pendants as well, Carabao horn pendants that have weaves. We try to apply the weaves on like whatever creative and relevant. I think it needs to be relevant, right? Because we're also shifting away from the usual tablecloths and runners and coasters. We'd like them to be more mainstream, and that's why we try to look for products for Linea Ethnica women to really wear with pride.
Linea Ethnica women, I like the sound of that. So where can we avail or buy some of your things? And I do understand there's also a fashion show that you will be partaking.
There's a Katutubo pop-up this weekend at the University of the Philippines in BGC. It starts today, so it's perfect. You can buy something for you, for your loved ones, celebrate International Women's Day. We are also found in Rustans Makati, and Cultura Makati, and Rags to Riches in Quezon City, and in Lily in Discovery Primea, and online as well.
There you go. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Louie Lobregat, for being with us today from Linea Ethnica. And of course, once again, she is the co-founder and the president